A while back, I made a video discussing every possible permutation that could be conceived as a world title win for Ric Flair. Now, this was back when John Cena was only at a mere 15 world titles, and people were fearing that he would beat Flair's record. But with that video, we saw that there is a solid argument to say that Ric Flair has won way more than 16. But what if there was someone else? What if there was another title record that made 16 just look like a drop in the bucket? And what if the holder of that record had been sitting ringside for many years right under everyone's noses? Well, that's the subject of this episode, because today, Dave knows the 140 plus championships of Jerry Lawler. That's right, Jerry the King Lawler is recognized as having amassed throughout his entire career and through multiple promotions more championships than any other wrestler, period. Now, how many championships exactly is that? Well, it all depends on how you count it and who you ask. But by most estimates, he clocks in at over 140. Now, how can we not know for sure? Well, as many of you have discerned from the Ric Flair World Title video, not every title win gets acknowledged, especially when a wrestler has a long career that dates back quite a bit and he's done work in multiple promotions. And when you get into title numbers going into the triple digits, well, the waters are definitely going to get way murkier. And if you're still confused to how something like a championship only manages to count sometimes, well, allow me to give a quick explanation. Now, a lot of this has already been covered in my episode on the origins of mid-card titles, so I really don't want to retread old turf, and I do have 140 titles to talk about, so I really don't have a lot of time to waste either, okay? So, here's the long and the short of it. Back in the territory days, promotions relied mostly on house shows for income, and one of the best attractions for small local shows was to have championship matches. But if you couldn't get your hands on one, then sometimes you would just have to make one up. Needless to say, this practice created a lot of championships throughout wrestling's history. Now, sometimes these belts would simply just be forgotten, or if the belt didn't draw enough money, it would be dropped by the promoter altogether. And other times, the title would merge with another more prestigious title, or promotions themselves would merge, and the belt would get absorbed and lost in the shuffle. And because these small shows weren't televised and before the internet, most people really didn't notice when a belt just stopped showing up. But most importantly, just because you create a championship, that doesn't mean that it truly has any value. A belt becomes more important the more it's recognized by others in the industry. And that's when organizations can sometimes disagree. So between all of these factors, some of Jerry's title reigns are not always recognized by all major parties, and therefore only kind of count sometimes. And if you're an outsider like me, well, you don't want to play any favorites by taking sides, so I'm just going to talk about these belts as best as I can. But just keep in mind that some of these titles may have fallen through the cracks over the years, so if I miss one, it's nothing personal. And now, as you might have guessed, out of all the championships that Jerry Lawler did win, they are not all necessarily world championships. In fact, most of them aren't. But nevertheless, I intend to run down the gamut on this one. Oh, and on an interesting side note for all you strict WWE only fanboys out there, none of these titles, not one, was won in the WWE. Alright, so let's just get into things. And as I stated before, there are going to be titles that not everyone agrees with on here, and with as many belts as I'm going to cover, there still might be some that I miss. So just keep that in mind, and let's just get started. Continental Wrestling Association. Lawler won the CWA World Tag Team titles twice, along with the NWA Mid-America Heavyweight Championship 3 times. Also, he won the CWA Heavyweight Championship once and the CWA World Heavyweight Championship once. And in addition, he captured the CWA International title, which was also known as the AWA International title, and the AWA International Heavyweight title, and the CWA/AWA International title, as well as the Southern International Championship. Whew. Call it what you want to call it, he won it 3 times. Now, if you want to know what's up with the names, well, don't worry, we'll definitely be getting back into that a little bit later on. Georgia Championship Wrestling. The Macon Tag Team Championship. A bizarrely localized tag team championship, it could only be contested in either the Macon City Auditorium or the Macon Coliseum in Macon, Georgia. Despite Georgia Championship Wrestling being a very prestigious promotion, it's not really surprising that this title is widely not recognized by many, even though Jerry the King Lawler has won it twice. Jersey All-Pro Wrestling. The King once won the JAPW Heavyweight Championship, but this is not always recognized by all people. Maryland Championship Wrestling. Another state heavyweight championship, Lawler won the MCW heavyweight title as well as the MCW tag team title, both only once. Memphis Wrestling. The Memphis Wrestling Television Championship, one time. Power Pro Wrestling. Lawler once won the PPW Tag Team Championship with Bill Dundee. Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Jerry was the SMW Heavyweight Champion twice, and he also has the honor of being the final champion before the belt was abandoned. Windy City Pro Wrestling. The King was a one-time WCPW Battle Royal Champion, and that's Windy City Pro Wrestling, not What Culture Pro Wrestling. World Class Wrestling Association. He also picked up 3 title reigns with the WCWA World Heavyweight Championship. United States Wrestling Association. USWA World Tag Team Championship 6 times. USWA Unified World Heavyweight Championship 27 or 28 times. Lawler vacated the title in March of 1996, only to get it back the following month. Some do not count this as an additional reign and instead just treat it as if he never lost the belt in the first place. NWA. NWA Virginia. A one-time NWA All-Star Heavyweight Champion. NWA Polynesian Wrestling. NWA Polynesian Pacific Heavyweight Championship once, but that's also not always recognized by everyone. NWA Gulf Coast Championship Wrestling. Another tentative tag team title that is only sometimes recognized is the NWA Gulf Coast Championship Wrestling Tennessee Tag Team title belts, which Lawler has won once. NWA Mid-America. On to the NWA Mid-America territory. Lawler has taken home the NWA Southern Junior Heavyweight Championship 5 times, the Alabama version of the NWA Tri-State Heavyweight Championship once, and the NWA Tri-State Tag Team titles twice, as well as being a one-time Mid-America version United States Tag Team Champion. And he also won the NWA Mid-America United States Tag Team Championship with Jackie Fargo only once, but the reign was very, very short and not acknowledged by many organizations. He also has 2 supposed but unconfirmed runs with the NWA Tri-State Tag Team Championship with Steve Lawler, and no, they're not related. While Jerry's real name is Lawler, Steve the Brawler Lawler, on the other hand, has the real last name of Gower. And Jerry also has another unconfirmed run with the Alabama version of the NWA Tri-State Heavyweight Championship. And not to mention 2 sometimes recognized NWA Mid-America Heavyweight Championships. American Wrestling Association. Lawler has also won the AWA Southern Tag Team titles 10 times and the NWA World Tag Team titles twice. And in singles competition, he took home the AWA World Heavyweight title once. Now, you might have noticed that while I have rattled off a whole bunch of belts, I am definitely a bit shy of 140. So, what's the deal here? Well, this is where most of the confusion actually takes place. During Lawler's career, many promotions joined together for one reason or another. But with these mergers came some championship name changes. However, some people count some of these wins for certain titles under different names as distinct and separate from each other, while others count everything under one single championship. So who's right? Well, who's to say? But here are Jerry Lawler's remaining title victories. Jerry Lawler won the AWA Southern Tag Team Championship 10 times, but some consider this as the same exact thing as the NWA Mid-America Southern Tag Team Championship. Also, the Texas Heavyweight Championship, which Lawler won once, has gone under the banners of the NWA, the WCCW, and the WCWA, as well as the USWA. And finally, Lawler has won the Southern Heavyweight Championship. A lot, which has fallen under so many different monikers. It's been a part of the promotions, the NWA Memphis, the CWA, the NWA Mid-America, the AWA, and the USWA. How many times did he win it? Well, some fans count some reigns separately, but generally speaking, we can count Jerry Lawler as winning this title 52 times, and that's with a conservative estimate. Which brings us up to a grand total of 141, but higher by some counts by other people. Okay, so there you have it. The many, many title reigns of Jerry Lawler. It's good to be the king. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe here as well as giving this video a big thumbs up. And again, thank you so much for watching, and this has been Dave Knows.